Hi, I'm Lea Reveley. I'm the author of Tommy's Unstoppable Gran. I'm making some short videos to help other self-published authors who are just starting their journey. I self-published just over a week ago, so everything is really fresh for me, and I thought that's a really good time to show parts of the process and highlight the pitfalls. Hopefully you can avoid any mistakes that I've made. What today's video is all about is looking at printers for paperbacks. Now my choice of printers has been KDP, which is that one, and also IngramSpark. Now you might be wondering why I've gone for two options. So KDP are owned by Amazon. I found them to be the cheapest. Most people, when they're buying a book these days, they're going to go to Amazon, so it kind of made sense for my bulk to be via them. I've also gone for a company called IngramSpark because if you are hoping to go into bookstores, you might want to look into IngramSpark because they're the company who bookstores will purchase their books from. When you're setting up through IngramSpark, you have an option to issue a discount for wholesale. I think it ranges from around about 40% to 55%. I've gone for the 50% option. I think the more discount you're willing to offer, I think the more likely they're going to go in your favour and they're willing to stock your book. There is also an option to offer returns. Now, it is advised that if you really want to get into bookstores to say that you are willing to accept returns. Now that's not something that I've done because I think that, especially this part of the process, it could be quite risky. But I mean that's completely up to you. If you want to explore it, maybe test it for a short while. Maybe see how your book sales are going initially, and then you can always change it later on in the day. So the main point of this video is to compare the two. So I'm actually really impressed with the print quality of these. These are both printed on demand. Now a lot of people say, oh, print quality of on-demand books aren't so great, but I think these are actually pretty good. So I've gone for the glossy 5 by 8 inches, which is pretty standard. I do recommend that you go with the same size if you go in with two suppliers. That way you can use the same artwork. You can use the same ISBN as well. You will need a different cover upload for both of them because the spec is slightly different. Okay, so yeah, which is which now? That one is IngramSpark and that is KDP. If you look at the colours are slightly different. I think I actually prefer KDP on that one. However, on the spines, I definitely prefer the IngramSpark spine. Now that's that one. Now I think there's a little bit of a blue stripe on the KDP one. Now I think that could possibly be more easily rectified rejigging the artwork of the cover. I do recommend that, especially if you're like me, I'm not very technical at all, so I employed someone to do my templates because I did find that I was going backwards and forwards a lot anyway. When I uploaded my template for my cover for both, I think KDP was a little bit harder actually. Every time I uploaded it, it was rejected a lot. So the fact that I could go back to a designer and say, look, it's been rejected again, can you please sort this out, and they'd send it me back. So yeah, that was a difficult part of the process. Yeah, another thing that I'd probably say is page numbers. I think if you want to get into bookstores, you need to have a spine. So especially if you're doing a small book or children's books, you need to really be looking at pages over 100. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to have enough of a spine to get a decent title on there. I've also gone for the cream interior. It's slightly more creamy on the Ingram one than this one, but overall I'm really impressed. So